Hey guys, I'm just talking about something for a second because I was just doing a little derma wand and I'm about to do this skincare review on the PMD, I think it's called. Sorry, my computer's not working very well. And I was thinking about my channel and how I do a variety of things. I do this whole skincare thing and the product reviews, but then I get into this whole Pleiadian thing and the spiritual stuff and the aliens, understanding the universe, what we're doing here, our mission, the whole star seed thing. I'm into all of that. And then there's the whole MBA thing that I got into, which attracts these certain kinds of guys, like this guy, who just added me to his circles. His name is Mark Doug, and I don't know him. Poetry and motion photography. That sounds nice. Ooh, he's got lots of followers and many, many views, 500,000 views, and his thing is all sexy, hot models. So on one hand, I guess I could be honored. I could feel honored that he finds me sexy, I guess, you know. I mean, usually women on Earth want to be considered sexy and pretty, and probably the Pleiadians do. It's been a minute since I posted some sexy photos from doing photo shoots. Here's a sneak peek. So, you know, I mean, I don't feel like I belong in this group because I'm not a hot model. I'm just a middle-aged woman. But then again, if this guy finds me sexy, I should think that's I should be glad, right? I fit in with the hot models. Yay me. I mean, it's so funny because I'm 52. I'm old, guys. Thank you to all you young guys who hit on me through the internet, though. That's nice. I guess, you know, I mean, it's so crazy. It's so funny because I'm 52, so I'm old. And I really need to do stuff like this. Derma one. When I watch the videos of me, I often, you know, look like you can see how my face is falling down and my neck. Oh God, it's awful. So, but I'm also accepting it in a new way where I'm like, oh God, you know, just fuck it. Just who cares? Just be a little older. Just okay. You can still smile at people and you can still be pretty, even if you're covered with wrinkles. You can still be hot and smoking and sexy or whatever. Or you can, you know, my aunt is pretty old. She's still working it. She looks good. I mean, she's very wrinkly. Although she might have had worked, I don't know. She looks better now, but she she'd be horrified. She knew I was talking about her. All good things. She would never watch my videos. Well, she might. It'd be funny if she watched my video. She'd think I wonder what she'd think. I guess I shouldn't worry myself about it. She's very critical, but she'd either think I was funny and radical and appreciate the good parts, or she'd think I was insane and whatever. You know, we're from the same family, so we should be able to understand the crazy or the director dynamic or whatever, because it runs in the family. And she probably is less crazy, but I don't think the crazy gene is as much on her side of the family as it is on my side of the family. But there's some, you know, obviously. Anyways, so I'm just commenting on the fact that I'm mixed about, you know, what I represent is different things, but I tie them together. So I feel like I'm one person with different aspects and one being operating on different levels and dimensions and you know, the archetypes and everything. So, you know, my siblings have all taken my comment about having 12 subpersonalities really literally, just so they could use it against me, obviously, because that's the way they are. And so instead of embracing the concept and being curious about the concept and you know, if somebody said to me that they had 12 subpersonalities, I'd be all over that. I'd be interviewing them and asking them what that means and trying to understand it, trying to process it and see what it means for myself and see what it means for the planet and the consciousness, the universe, the culture, the species, whatever. You know, the scientist in me, the scientist aspect of me would be interviewing, and the social psychologist in me would be interviewing that person who says that. I wouldn't be going, oh, are you going to act crazy because you have 12 subpersonalities? You know, that's the way I'm treated in my family. It's used as a weapon against me, of course. I would be more upset about that right now, except that I've kind of gotten moved through the, I guess I've been raising my love vibration enough to see ahead of this egotistical, lower vibration, mean, cruel, jealous stuff where we need to use things about each other against each other, and so I mean, in the anti-love universe, if I'm going to look at it that way, then I have to understand that we're all in the anti-love universe, and everybody's behavior is basically due to their anti-love, their connection to the anti-love vibration. Therefore, they're not even in control of how bad they act. We're all acting badly because we're impulsed to do so. One thing that's interesting is just my mind just went to 12 different things. This is so awful. This is what makes it hard for me to sometimes stay on the same, follow one track. But because I was talking about the fact that I have the skincare middle-aged mom side of me that just wants to keep it young and pretty and try to stay ahead of this aging game, which is a painful game. No one likes it. And trying to find humor in that, and then the videos that I make that are about that attract a certain clientele or follower, which is the females. And then I do have the females that love the spiritual chat too, because they're also seekers, or they're trying to understand, and just like the sharing of the trying to figure out what we're doing here. Those are usually the star people that are here to raise the vibration or pay karmic debt. Those are pretty much the two reasons that we come here. And then there's this whole MBA thing. And I noticed that I had 427 subscribers. And then 3 of them disappeared with the last 3 videos that I posted because they weren't MBA videos. I wasn't showing my cleavage. I wasn't, I was just doing my own weird stuff. Actually, I am getting a little weird with, like, the fact that I'm videotaping some of my process of downloading stuff. I'm not really sure why I'm doing that right now, but anyway, that's just, I'm going to roll with it. And because it's like the process of questioning the universe and then having the answers come in, if you hear and listen, you can, it's like in that last video I just made where I was listening to Wendy Kennedy's channeling of the Pleiadians and this Australian or British guy who's asking these questions, and then he records his sessions with her, and then he's posting them, which I appreciate because I love Wendy Kennedy. I like listening to her. She says some different information than Barbara Marciniak, and they're both channeling Pleiadians. So that just goes to show you that there's many kinds of Pleiadians. So, they're not all the same. They're not one people. They're not like 5 Pleiadians. There's like a bazillions of Pleiadians, and they're many stars, and they're all different. And there's different kinds. I mean, there's the species there is more varied than here, really. And so, like, Barbara Marciniak made some comment about the Igigi or Igigi or whatever they're called, and Wendy Kennedy's Pleiadians that she was channeling hadn't heard of the Igigi or the Igigi. I don't know. They're the Igigi or Igigi or whatever they are. Maybe it's Igigi or the Igigi. Those are they're little human guys that my memory of listening to a video talking about the Igigi, the Igigi, is that they were actually these crappy little people. They were like little mean, angry, little pygmy guys who were raping the human species and impregnating them and creating these little monster people that God, quote unquote, wanted to get rid of, probably because they were horrible, and with the flood to get rid of them all, and then but they didn't get rid of them all. I think they saved, obviously they saved some people with the ark, and maybe some of those bad guys were salvaged, and that's why we still have a lot of bad blood in the species, in the human species. We have these gene pool of pretty harsh combative energy that we probably inherited from perhaps the Igigi or whoever the hell those guys were, the reptilians. I mean, we don't even have to go to the little mongrelly Gigi guys because we've got the reptilians and everybody else in the universe, the Orions. I mean, oh my God, those guys have been fighting for a long time. There's been this fighting going on. It makes me wonder if the entire universe is based on love versus anti-love, or light versus dark, or light versus anti-light, or creation versus anti-creation, creation versus destruction. I mean, you should be able to build something up and knock it down without that being a crime, right? Wendy Kennedy was channeling, saying that in Atlantis, he asks about Atlantis, and she does this whole thing, which I didn't record, but it's on there if you look at his, what's the name of this guy? Where did it go? I think I erased it. Anyway, sorry. So annoying. I hate it when I do that. So she was saying how the Pleiadians had this incredible technology that was based on sound, and that we would transfer the energy, the technology, the consciousness would be manifested through sound and geometry. She mentions geometry and how we can destroy with sound. And that the whole universe is created by sound, but you can also destroy with sound. I mean, the universe would probably be boring if you never destroyed anything you created, or would it? Or maybe if you never could destroy anything you created a bunch of stuff and they destroy each other. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about the weird thing with the different parts of me, and I just wondered if I should take all my skincare stuff and have a channel for me, the persona of me that's just really interested in skincare, because I am obsessed with it. let's face it. Well, not as obsessed as I could be, but enough, should I do one YouTube channel for just my skincare vids, and they do overlap into my philosophy vids, which is why I was keeping it all. It's just simpler to keep it all together. But they are different audiences, There could be a regular mom who would really enjoy the skincare vids who doesn't want to hear a thing about Pleiadians because they're really Christian or whatever. But that doesn't mean they couldn't enjoy the vid. So I don't know if I should try to worry about who I'm catering to on my channel, or if I should just let whoever finds it, and they either like it or they don't, and you move on, or, maybe they jump on a skincare vid, they like that, and then they find this philosophical vid that they don't like, or they see a hint of MBA or me talking about my club, and they're like, ew, she's awful, because God forbid we talk about our body on planet Earth and be okay with that. Let's shut it down quick. So I'm not even out there trying to be sexy. This is the thing. It's like, I probably give off a totally different meaning about what I represent than I mean to. I don't mean to try to be some kind of, like some guy wrote to me, why don't you do a truth or dare or something, and he's like probably going to dare me to do some gross thing, and a whole bunch of really crude dialogue would ensue, and I'm not interested in that at all, and I don't even think I give off that vibration that's what I'm into, crude, rude talk, unless I'm your lover and we're in bed together, then I sometimes get kind of crude, but it's been so long since I've even done that, I don't even know how to do that, and actually I don't even want to do that. I don't even know what I want as far as that goes. I'm very confused. We're all confused when it comes to sex on this planet, because the Pleiadians actually wanted us to be confused about sex. I mean, at first they want us to enjoy sex because they read our energy. And when we're having sex, we're usually in this vibration of pleasure, usually, hopefully, and they like to read that. They read the mother through our sexual interaction, because when we're having sex, our body gets all worked up and hot, and the vibration of the cells pulsates, and maybe it's easier to read our energies when we're doing it. Maybe that's why they're always trying to get us to do it all the time, because somehow they get something out of it when we have sex. Isn't that funny? The Pleiadians get something out of it when we have sex. And yet, some of those Pleiadians, not all of them, but some of them tricked us into not quite grasping what sex actually means. Oh, I get it. They want us to have enough sex so that they can read our energy, but they don't want us to have enough sex that we actually gain our power back. That's what it is. And they confused us with what it's about, because they wanted to benefit from our sexual activity, but they don't want us to benefit too much, because then we would remember who we are, access our power, because you can access your power through sex if you're not messed up about it. Right away we're taught to have shame about sex. You know, some cultures you had to be clothed during sex and operate through cutting a hole in the fabric, the many layers of fabric, and that's like a thing, you know. um, we've been taught to have a lot of shame about sex and also, you know, against it. Like the religions teach you that it's bad. You have to have holy matrimony before you can even engage in it. And when you're young, but the religions teach you to have a lot of shame about even thinking about sex. And God forbid you touch your body in a pleasurable way. No, no, no. And so we've been taught incredible negative associative thoughts in relationship to sex, and so that's why we're all screwed up about it. It's like we want it, but we're afraid of it. We want it, but then it controls us, or we can't get it, or we're obsessed with it, or we're sex addicts, or it's always bad here because we're in the anti-love experiment. So everything always goes the opposite of love. You know, what is love? I mean, isn't it supposed to be a good thing? Or is it just a chemical reaction? If you're an anti-love, how can you feel real love? You're probably just feeling an illusionary thing. I don't know. It's very complicated here. I feel like the entire society, this whole matrix, we're being tricked. We're in trickage mode. You know? I feel like we're getting tricked because we're taught where we are. And the Pleiadians have something to do with that. So don't just blindly accept everything the Pleiadians say, because they don't always say everything for your best interest. You know, if you're playing the game and you know you're playing the game and you're figuring out that you're down here to play the game and also to uplift and redirect. Oh, the other thing is we're doing something new here, so we got to realize that. We have to come up with a new blueprint of what we want, and that's important. So we have to think about what we want. Not some divine plan that somebody else has for us. No. New plan. This is a time for us to really be creative. Creator gods, as they say. You know? All right, I got to go do something, and I'll be back. Love you. Big kiss.